Questions about pricing on your labels. I had a lot of people actually send me questions when I uploaded just recently the online labels video tutorial showing you how to create your label. So I'm going to dive into a few things to keep in mind when you start pricing out how much it costs to create a label right now. It is Damien from Marketing Food Online. I hope you guys are staying safe, of course, as always, and having a great day. So I'm going to dive into this question. I had a lot of feedback from the video. I'm actually here in my office at our facility in our candy shop. I'm getting ready to do a handful of videos tonight. So I wanted to cover really quick some of the questions you guys had about the pricing of your labels. A few people said, well, some of the pricing examples you gave are really, really low. Let me explain. There's a lot of variables into how much your label will cost you, and I'm going to get into that. Number one, the size of the label will dictate the cost. That is a big, big determinant. Now, I put together a sample, and this is just something kind of, just to give you an example. These are 5 of the different types of labels that we use here. We use a lot more than that, but I don't have enough space on the bag. This is a 1-pound bag. I just put some trail mix that we make in here. And I wanted to give you some ideas of how this looks. So the sizes are going to dictate the cost. Now, I'm going to get into the other aspects of your label in just 1 second, but let me show you this really quick. So this label right here is about 2 inches. This is 3, and this is obviously a rectangular one that's cost around 10 cents, okay? But this is 3 cents. This cost me 3 inches. This cost me 8 cents when I print it. Not just the label, but when I print it. These are the costs for these when they're completely printed on. But you can see, obviously, the different variation in sizes, okay? So this is a 1-pound bag of trail mix. There you go. So 4 cents for the small one, 8 cents, and a 10 cents, okay? Now, 2 more on the back. This is one of our nutritional label size, okay? This one cost me about 8 cents to print, but this is black and white. It's just pure black ink. These are all color, okay? And these are going to be, also, this is a black and white. For the most part, predominantly it's black, just black ink on a white. This one's 6 cents, okay? So these are relatively long. This bag is about 12 inches. It's a pretty big bag, okay? So to give you an idea, this for me, as an example, this is 5 of them. This is how they vary in price. Now, not only does the size, but the finish. Is it glossy or is it matte? Okay? Most of the time, obviously, the glossy ones are going to run a little bit more as far as the pricing, and those are going to be a little more expensive. If you get the matte finish, which is what I have here, just as an example, these are all matte. Some of the ones that we have here in the shop are actually glossy, so those prices are a little bit more, not by much. Then what's going to happen is the finish, okay? So, I'm sorry, not the finish, the material. Some of them are acrylic. Actually, some are acrylic labels. Some of them are just traditional paper labels. Some of them have a real thick, almost like a plastic rubberized finish on them. Those also are a little more pricier. The ones that I use here are predominantly matte, with a couple of them being glossy, okay? That's why when I did the video, I can quote you the prices that I did because it cost me that much. Now, what's the next factor? Well, what type of a printer do you have? Because the type of ink cartridge that you use, and what we use here is actually just an inkjet. It's a HP, I have it here on my desk over here. It's a DeskJet, but it is a ink printer. It's not a laser. Now, obviously, some are laser printers. Those are really, really expensive. But the inkjet works really good for us, okay? So the ink cartridges, what they cost us, and how many things I can print from that gives me the price point that I quoted when I did my video. Now, if you have a printer and your ink cartridge is like a $50, $60, or even $70, that's obviously going to cost you more to print it, okay? So when I got a lot of questions about the video, it was great. But then I was really wanted to let you guys know we really got to compare apples to apples and not apples to oranges, because what I produce here is going to cost a lot less because I use our printer on the low end as far as the cost. Prints up great quality, but it doesn't cost me a fortune to do it. Let me tell you, I've gone through a lot of printers too over the last 12 years. I can tell you the one that I have now is about as most inexpensive as I can get without it being super cheap. But the quality that it prints is fantastic for what we need it for. So basically, you got to keep that in mind. The size of your label, I personally would try not to over enlarge your label. If you've got a package like let's just say 1-pound bag of trail mix or nuts, or if you're doing something like a seasoning or something like that, and you've got a package this big, something like this is suitable. You don't need to get one that's the entire length of the bag. Okay, again, this is just an example. Something like this plenty big enough to relay all the information you need. This one actually, we put a barcode here. We put all of the allergen warning, our nutritional information, and then the ingredient listing. And then, of course, we still have space on the top for the name of the company. So this one here for us does a lot, relays a lot of information, is on the back of the bag, and it's certainly big enough in respects to the size of the packaging. So definitely keep those factors in mind. I can't quote you exactly what you would be printing. I can only give you examples for what I do here. So with the factor of the cost of your printer, specifically the ink more so than anything, the size of the label, the finish of the label, and the quantity you're buying it at, that's the way you can determine the cost of your label. So I wanted to do a follow-up video because I've had a few hundred questions that popped up over the past couple of days about that video in particular, about the pricing. So your labels will vary and definitely will be either a little bit more or potentially even a little bit less depending on the size. Really quick, let me show you this again. This one here, which is the small 2-inch label, we use it on a small bag. There's an ice cream topping that we make, but the bag is only about this big. So by using this size label for the logo, it works perfect for us. So basically, you got to keep that in mind. The size of the bag or even the container is going to dictate that as well. So not to sit here and repeat myself, but that is definitely a video I just wanted to follow up with you guys. That's how we come about the pricing for our labels. And then from there, you can determine whether or not maybe you have to adjust your printer. Like I said, we've gone through, I think, 5 or 6 different printers over the past few years. And all of them, some of them were ridiculously high and it was costing us too much. So we just got rid of the printer and we got one that's suitable for what we need it for because it's a lot less and expensive. In my opinion, if you're pushing your label between 20 to 35 or 40 cents or even higher, you need to kind of step back and see if there's a different size, a different printer, maybe less color or something different about it. Because when you start to get into the packaging, which I'm going to do a video shortly here to explain you how to create the cost, how do you determine the cost of your product? I'm going to go over the 7 different factors that really contribute to that. So that's the video that's coming up next, by the way. So that's pretty much in a nutshell how and why we charge what we do and how we can do our labels the way that we print them. So keep that in mind when you're printing your labels, all right? If you guys have more questions, again, ask me and I'll get to it as quick as. Thanks for watching Marketing Food Online. And if you are looking to create your own food truck, start a home-based food business under the cottage food law, franchise a food operation, start a packaged food business, private label your own food product, sell on Amazon, get your own online store, or sell food online, remember to subscribe and check out these videos for more resources. Take care.